Hey everyone, Aniela McGinnis here. I am the co-founder of Cancer Grad along with Nora. And today is Wednesday and it's still holiday season. I am visiting a family and I snuck off for a little bit of quiet time to do a Wisdom Wednesdays with you all. And my Wisdom Wednesday today is going to be about death. I know the one person who's listening to this, please don't stop listening. This is a topic that is rarely discussed in our society. And there is this fear that seems to come with it that if we talk about death, we are wishing it upon ourselves. So what happens is we are always surprised when it happens, or surprised when it happens to somebody else. And that's why I wanted to talk about death right now at the end of the year, because there is this Buddhist philosophy which I very much appreciate. And I read this in the Tibetan book on living and dying, that we should be preparing when we are healthy and happy. We should be meditating on death because we know it's going to happen. It's the one thing in life we know is going to happen. So what happens if we prepare for it? If we, while we were happy, while we were healthy, we think about death. We prepare for this. And it comes with this idea that the closer you are to death, the more vibrant life becomes. And I think many of us who have gone through cancer feel that. We feel this intensity of life once we have faced death, once we have looked death in the eyes. We appreciate the life we have so much more. And please comment below if you feel this way, or if you had a changed perspective about life because of an experience you had with death. And so I feel that this is a topic that if we talk about more, we can become more comfortable with. And so with this Tibetan book on living and dying, they talked about noticing the things around us when they do die, those moments of death, those little tiny deaths, and how they make you more comfortable with the big deaths we experience. So day becoming night is a tiny death. 2016 becoming 2017 is a death of 2016. And as we witness these moments, we realize that this is a circle of life, that this is something that happens over and over again, and it is natural. And it is nothing to be scared of. And I actually really enjoy having discussions of death with friends. I like knowing how people would want to die. I know that sounds very morbid, and Nora would murder me right now if she knew this was my topic for tonight's Wisdom Wednesdays. But I feel like talking about our deaths is, especially in this cancer world, a very poignant thing that can make you more comfortable with the situation. And so I know for me, hi Roberta. So Roberta thinks very true on this. So I have been on 3 deathbeds in my life. I was on my grandmother's, my grandfather's, and then my mother's. And for my mother's, I actually held my mom's hand when she passed away. And I found death to be a very interesting thing. I had just finished 10 days of silent meditation at like a Buddhist monastery, and then my mom died a week later. So I was in a very interesting mindset when I was with my mother when she died, and didn't make it any easier. It was still very hard. But I know for me, when my mother died, I thought it was going to be some magical experience, that angels would start singing and that I would feel some shift. And it wasn't like that. My mother took this inhalation and this last exhalation, and she was gone. And that was it. And I wasn't prepared for that. And so this Buddhist idea of living and dying, of preparing for our deaths, of meditating on the fact that every inhalation you have, the exhalation, unless you inhale again, that is the moment of your death. And we are a single breath away every moment from death. And when you meditate on that, realizing how much more vibrant life becomes. And so I have thought about this and talked about it with friends. And for me, I want to die awake. I want to see death. I think it would be an interesting experience to see what happens in that shift. And I'd love to know what you all, how you all would like your deaths to happen. We have had several deaths, very big ones, happen within the last week. Of, our very own Princess Leia passed away, and so being prepared for this, thinking of your own passing, how would you like to go? How would you like to have that last moment? And by us talking about this, we can become more comfortable with it. And we can prepare for this moment. And it does make me question. There's this idea that some people believe that the first moment of life is that first breath you take. And your last moment of life is your last breath. But as we know, there are fetuses in their mother's wombs. And there's a life before that. There is this, they are in this womb, and it makes you wonder, is there a life after? Is there a womb period when you take that last breath? We do not know what exists in that moment. And by us spending time becoming comfortable with this, it can ease some of our fears. Yes, it is unknown, but it is something that we are all going to do. And we can become prepared so we don't have to be scared of it. That is my Wisdom Wednesdays. If you have any comments about it, please feel free to write below. I'd love to know what your feelings are on death. This is such a taboo topic in our culture. We don't talk about this. And I feel that if we did, it would make these moments of passing, these moments of change, the moments of a death of a year and the birth of a new year, easier. And so, please share. Thank you all so much for watching our Wisdom Wednesdays. We'll tune back in again next Wednesday for a new topic. And also type below if you guys want a specific topic talked about for Wisdom Wednesdays. Love to start this dialogue. Have a wonderful holiday evening, and we will see you all in the new year. Bye.